probably should be wearing my glasses, considering the fact that I can't see as well at night. Well, not to say that I cannot see at night per se, because I could still read at night. But my glasses, it provides a better boost. Oh snap, I'm recording. What is up, people? It's been a long time, hasn't it? Hopefully you guys have had a wonderful day. Y'all stay warm, because where I'm at, fam, it's like 34 something degrees right now. I know there's places that are way colder than that, but I mean, call me crazy, but I like the cold more than the warmth. Probably because I was born in like the winter. Yeah, you can say that, or close to winter. Man, so what have y'all been up to? What have y'all been doing? Everyone eating well? Y'all staying healthy? I sure hope y'all have. Oh man. I was thinking of making this video. At first I was like, the weather and me and walking are not exactly the right combo. I barely walk, although I probably should, so I could get myself into way better shape. Now, a lot of people who know me have known me to be not exactly the most talkative guy in the world. I've been like that for quite some time. Whoops. Yeah, I totally just delayed this person from turning because I didn't realize that they were driving like right by me. But they'll be okay. Yeah, I've never been known as the most talkative person in the world. But that doesn't mean I don't pay attention to things. I still do. I still remain vigilant, you know? There are so much things that I hear nowadays, especially when I go to church, because I go to church pretty much every week, actually. And I hear people say, oh, the church is boring, or they'll go to the church because the music is boring, and all that. Or some go just because of who's giving the meditation. Honestly, I get annoyed when I hear that, for the simple fact that, okay, the word is the word. Anybody could give the word out. The Lord chooses the person and he works through that individual to get the word across, and if it doesn't reach everybody, hopefully it reaches one. So then eventually more people can be reached. Yeah, there are times where churches will have those like revival weeks and weekends, or like those 40-day crusades and all that. And you'll see everybody flock over to that. But then the first Saturday, once those crusades and revivals are done, you barely see any people at church that day. Why is that? And when I say, like, they'll pay attention to who gives a message instead of the actual message, like, let's say if it's a grand preacher, someone who's really popular, who's known in multiple different states, I'd say, someone of that magnitude, they'll all go because it's that person. But then if it's just a regular church member, no, they don't want to show up. Isn't the word the same? I know they say not all people are the same, which is true, but I mean, hey, that same church member, whoops, I gotta run. That same church member, he's got 2 hands, he's got 2 arms, he's got 2 feet, got 5 fingers on each hand, so does it really matter who's relaying the message? And now, I get it, a pastor's supposed to do multiple things, I get all that, But why do people go to church just because of a pastor? Like, the pastor's only gonna be there for, what, like maybe 2, 3, 4 something years? But then when the pastor leaves, are you gonna leave with the pastor too? See, it's really annoying. I really get irked when I hear people say, oh, the pastor's doing good work. Well, I mean, okay, let me rephrase that in a way. The pastor doing good work, that's kudos to him, blessings to him, because being a pastor, that takes a lot of stuff. Me, I could never do that. But like, it's just crazy how they treat the pastor as a god more than the Lord itself. They worship past this, past that. Well, who's the one who taught the pastor? The word came from above, right? So why do you keep continuing to put the word, the person who gives the word, above the word? I wonder where this piece of glass came from. And when I hear people say that the music is no good, well, okay, I'm not the most musically enthusiastic individual, and I probably never will be, but what I will do is I've always acknowledged people who have musical talent, because to become a musician, you gotta go to school and you gotta practice a whole lot of stuff for yourself, and I've sat through lessons before. It's just not me. But if you have musical talent and you could touch multiple people, go ahead, just keep on doing what you do. And then when I think about it, it's like, music, yeah, sure, it's definitely a powerful thing. But then, let's say when there's no music at all, the amp system just goes out. And then you're just left with the singers. And the music just isn't all that. Are you gonna leave because the music isn't good? Do you go to church for music? Do you go to church to actually listen, to nourish your mind, to go out and help others? People really gotta realize why you go to church nowadays. It's just a dang shame. And another thing, while we're at it, like, why in the world do some of the messages, them sermons be taking a long time too? I'm not gonna lie. Cause bruh, so I've been hearing people preach for like 2 odd something hours. It is crazy. But then again, if the Lord wants the person to speak for that long, okay, I guess. But what I've noticed a lot is that sometimes less is more. Oh crap, there's a dog barking. Well, I'm crossing the street. Screw that. Hell no. Another thing, I'm scared of dogs. Yes, I said it. Do not judge me. I remember when I was a little kid, I tripped over a tree branch, right? I'm laying on the floor. I couldn't get up that quick. Then a little chihuahua was coming, and then I'm looking, okay. Thing looked calm, so it's a little dog. But then when it came over towards me, it started running a lot faster. And then it was huffing and puffing. I got up, and then I ran up. I never ran up 54 flights of stairs that quick in my life. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Remember why you go to church, who you go to church for. And like on Wednesday nights, like, I've seen people, they'll look at the program, they'll check who it is that's going on, like the stage or whichever, to conduct the service. But then if it's someone who they don't really like, I guess, who's not a big name, they don't go. Whereas it doesn't matter who gives the word. I know I probably sound repetitive, but oh well. It really doesn't matter who gives the word. As long as you receive it and do what it is that you can do with it, then just leave the rest to the man above and keep on keeping on and pray that the word amplifies your connection with him and with other people. And sure, everyone has disagreements. Yes, we're all different people. I get it. But disagreements doesn't always have to become conflicts. Sorry about that. I'm actually real hungry. I'm too lazy to walk into the local food spot. Look at this idiot over here. Why in the blue hell are you stopped right in front of where the person that's supposed to cross is at? Seriously, drivers nowadays are stupid as hell. And if they heard me, who gives a you-know-what? Oh, man. Fun fact, if you head over to the left of me, you'll actually be heading into Cambridge, and there's a Mass Pike up there. Then when you take that Mass Pike, I believe that's 90 East, you're heading towards like downtown Boston and Copley Square and all that. Ooh, nice. Look at this coast. This driver's a beast. He's got to turn out to here because if he was closer to the sidewalk, he would have, the Tesla would have sucked. MBT Worldwide. If you don't know what kind of course that is, that's a Van Hool CX45. Oh, damn. I hate it that these walk signs just take forever. Yeah, moral of this, remember who you go to church. Well, don't just go to church because of who's there. Go there for your spiritual development as well. That's what really matters. Time to run again. Oh boy. Whew. Yes, again, pastors are there for a while. They do what they can. And in the end, it's up to the members because the pastor is gonna leave. When the pastor leaves, who's gonna, take over? Just because the individual, if they don't pay their, say, tithes and offerings the way you expect them to, stop talking down on the individual for that. You're not in the person's daily life. Some people can't really give offerings. Some are legit that, poor. And I don't really like using the term poor because, I don't know, I just really don't like using the term poor. It sort of makes, in my opinion, well, this is just me, when you call them poor, some people, it's like you're putting them down. You maybe have a lot of money, but then you could still actually be poor mentally. Because money goes. Your mind will always be there. Don't become too dependent on money, because while money is good, when it consumes your mind, and that's all that you think about, then that's just, something seriously wrong with you. Because I know people who have a lot of money, and I know those who don't have a lot of money as well. But then I know it's the people who don't have as much, they're a lot happier because, they learn to adapt with what they have. And sure, I'd want a pair of Jordans or whatever, but I still got boots and other sneakers. I could still walk around. There's others who don't have that at all. And another thing, some people Stop being too picky with your food. Just stop whining like a big baby. There are people right now who some would even be happy just to get a spoon of food, a spoonful. They don't even have that. And then you got people complaining, oh, I don't like the food, blah, blah, blah. Well, maybe if you learn to stop being so picky and be more appreciative for what you do have, then, and only then, will your mindset be a growth mindset instead of a fixed mindset. Well, I know I rambled a lot about multiple things in this, but hopefully what I said made sense. Well, it is cold. I really gotta go get some food, so have fun, stay happy, appreciate your family, appreciate your friends. Not all your friends are real friends, because when you're in darkness, times of darkness, you really learn who your peoples really are. They're with you only when things are good, and you're just gonna have to cut them off. If they don't have your best interest in mind, cut them off. Just don't even bother dealing with them. Because a lot of them, they'll claim to be a friend, and then they'll set you up. They'll put you forward, and then they'll take a step back. But then shouldn't they step forward with you so that you can grow? Why is it that they only want to, a lot of us seem to look out for ourselves instead of looking out for others? Sure, it may be hard, but I mean, when you work together, like, let's say if you're working on a project or something, you have a different view than your other group partners. And then that view that you had or they had, you put them together, you teach them more people about said project. You know, you learn more about them, they learn more about you, and then you could use that knowledge and then just keep on passing it on. And then everyone learns things that they haven't known before. That's why having differences is usually a good thing in my estimation, because of what I just said. And if you take the Mass Pike in that direction right there, you could head to like Framingham, Worcester, get to New York, Albany, Connecticut, and all that other good stuff. And then you switch over to like I-84 and all that, Charter Oak Bridge and all that good stuff. Man, my throat's actually starting to hurt right now. Oh, geez. I see a hybrid bus. Oh, God, thank goodness. I mean, oh, gosh, thank goodness that's not the one that I'm taking. But yeah, I mainly wanted to just focus on like the whole people going to church because of the pastors and stuff and all that. Yes, once again, I'm going to reiterate it. It's good that the pastor is doing what they've been called up to do. But seriously, stop sucking up to pastors too. They're humans just like us. Just because they're a pastor, that doesn't mean they should be treated any different. And another thing, just because they went and studied theology, that doesn't mean that they're necessarily a good pastor, because there's a lot of pastors that I know and I hear things that sleep with multiple women and all that, and they'll use certain funds for their personal gain, whereas marriage should obviously be, marriage is something sacred. I'm not married, but everyone knows that once you take the vows and it's blessed, You're there with that person till death do you part. There'll always be multiple issues, like multiple arguments, sure. Everybody knows that. But then when you overcome those issues, you learn a lot more about yourself that you did not realize. Maybe temptations and arguments are really there to help us become better people. We don't realize that. Man, it is really cold. Oh wow, I could actually cross the street. My goodness. Yeah, like pastors, they'll end up buying like many cars and all that. It's like, okay, the church funds are clearly used for a certain purpose. Like, why not just use it for what it's supposed to be used for? Why y'all always want to be all difficult and all that other crazy stuff, using the funds for your own personal gain? Isn't the money supposed to stay in the church to help the church? Like, I don't understand. Well, that concludes this. Hope y'all enjoyed this and see you later. Oh, one last point. My actually last point. About the studying theology and all that. Well, maybe not necessarily about that, but okay, you can study theology. It doesn't necessarily make you a great pastor. But being a pastor, that's something the Lord chooses that individual. So there are people who don't even study theology. Not trying to bash people who study that, because if you know the word, the more studying, the more better it is. But the Lord chooses the individual. If you're blessed by the Lord, then do the Lord's work. Oh snap, I saw my shadow. I thought it was like two people behind me, but it was just one. Yeah, I should probably tie my laces, but nah, I won't. Yeah, there's people who, back to what I was saying, people who don't study theology, and then they get the word across a lot better than a lot of the pastors. So you don't have to be a pastor to preach the word. You could be a regular person and then preach it. Yeah, why do people keep saying that, oh, it's just a pastor? Yes, the pastor has his work cut out for him. There's so much the pastor has to do, but try to focus more on actually learning more about the... Oh, jeez, I'm getting tired. It's amazing how people leave glass bottles on the floor. They don't pick it up after themselves. That is just crazy. Dang, I'm going all over the place with what I'm saying. But yeah, study the word more. Stop valuing the title of the person. Title doesn't mean jack. I don't care what you say. Title really means zero to me. So what? I'm a simple member. I can't relay the same message that you have. I don't get it. It's just crazy. All right, I'm out. Peace out.